little string of tracks that they all failed. The first one failed, I brought it here and they were playing.
Okay, hello everybody.
And I just set the back and
We're really thankful that we can be here speaking today. So we will be talking about a topic called the fire in the eye. So who we are? My name is Olli-Pekka Niemi. I'm Chief Research Officer in StoneSoft. And StoneSoft is a company in Finland. We do firewalls and IPS, and it was recently acquired by McAfee. And this is my colleague Antti. So Antti's been working in my team, and together we've been doing all kinds of attack-related research and trying to bypass security devices. So in this presentation we will discuss about some problems we have identified in seamless attack detection techniques and sandboxing. This seamless attack detection is very much becoming the hot topic in threat prevention. And the client-side vulnerabilities are often found in 0 days, and they are found in 0 days exploits in the wild. So it means that the things-based things-based intrusion detection prevention systems are likely to catch these attacks. So things-based detection systems are designed to get this kind of attacks, and they actually do provide some additional layer of security. But there are lots of problems in these techniques and ways how to bypass. So if you're looking into the market-leading product, so the FireEye, what are the capabilities? There's a lot of safe capabilities that it can do, but there's a lot of problems as well. FireEye, they advertise that the system is tuning free and works 0 hour attacks. Maybe soon they will be working 0 minute attacks or whatever, I don't know. And then working APTs and then working outbound data exfiltration callbacks and basically saying that they can pull out most of the modern malware and saying that all the other systems are missing this. So if you think about it, we have a device designed for catching 0 day stuff, designed for stopping APT. I think that kind of device should be very easily bypassed. But unfortunately, that is not the case. So how it works? The idea of the FireEye appliance is just run all the files, download from the web in the virtual machine, and then by running those files there, you actually understand that the file contains malicious code. In this case, we also consider that the web pages are files. So how the FireEye actually runs web pages of web files is just runs the browser in the virtual machine and injects the same web pages that the original downloaded client would get, and then see what happens there. So while the idea is pretty solid, there are still lots of drawbacks and at least made me to question how usable the product is and how it really is able to stop APT attacks. So to test the FireEye's capabilities, we'll look for an exploit that it could detect. Firstly, of course, we thought that we would use ACAR, but since it's not actually malicious code, it doesn't show the ACAR in any way. So then we selected this MS-10-018 CD 2010 0806. So that's unutilized memory corruption vulnerability. And in the Internet Explorer, same vulnerability is in ES6 and ES7 as well. So what we're doing is that we are exploiting Windows XP Shellcraft 2 and Internet Explorer 6. So when we exploited the vulnerability, the victim is actually connecting to the malicious web server, and then the web server will give the exploit on the victim, compromise it, and the FireEye gives the other exploit browser but it takes 2 to 4 minutes to run before it's giving the alert. So those 2 to 4 minutes is simulating and running that, and it has no clue what is happening during that time. And the actual exploit, of course, was not prevented because it's not really like in line, but it only takes a copy of the web traffic and then runs that in the virtual machines inside. So this is a screenshot from the FireEye tool. So you'll see the export browser. So what the other does is that it immediately opens a shell from the victim host using a separate TCP connection. So, and the FireEye actually is able to detect the open shell, but nevertheless the remote shell connection opened by the exploit stays open even after this alert. So this does a screenshot of the shell that we have in the Windows system, and the shell is actually active after the FireEye is able to find that there is an exploit going on, so it's not stopping that connection at all. So it seems that during the time FireEye is analyzing the malware target host have already been compromised, and whether the content downloads or uploads to this time window remains hidden. So if we then run the exploit again, so we use the same URL, then we will get this alert of local infection. And the HTTP connection is actually terminated in RST packet. So they are saying, FireEye guys, that if there is a malicious URL, if the system learns it, then they can put all those malicious URLs and also report those into cloud so that every other FireEye device is also able to block this URL. So this is just a screenshot from FireEye, and it should show the local infection. Well, so if a different client host tries to access the malicious URL, the connection would be terminated the same way. So that is how the FireEye use cloud services to store and identify malicious URLs. But if we change the URL at all, then the FireEye actually won't detect it anymore. So we changed the URL a little bit, and instead of having a new local infection, we get the exploit browser again. And the difference between the local infection and the exploit browser is that the exploit browser doesn't actually prevent the connection, while the local infection does. So if we just change the URL, then it doesn't actually stop it anymore. And one character is enough. Yep.
When you say change the URL, do you mean just the domain change, or you can
Whatever
change
character in the URL. So if you have a hostile web server and you're serving malware, if you use every time a different URL, the FireEye would never prevent it.
Okay.
Sorry, do you have two Macintosh adapters for VGA up there? Or is one of mine?
I have my own. I don't know.
Okay, never mind.
Alright, so to be able to simulate a victim, the FireEye captures data exchange between the attacker and the target. So the TCP stream data belonging to the HTTP connections, they are captured and replayed in the virtual machine. So it takes a copy of the HTTP connection and tries to parse out the client part and the server part, and then inside the virtual machine is running its own internal web server that is actually serving the same malicious files to the virtual machines inside. And how the virtual machine is chosen inside a FireEye is that the FireEye is actually looking for the headers of the client. Yeah.
So back to the question, the same URL included HTTP parameters or not? It's the URL itself or included parameters?
Any character that you change, one character is enough.
Oh, you included the parameter, right?
Yeah. So if it is possible to get peak caps out of the FireEye system, so there is a possibility to download the internal peak cap, and then there's also possibility to download the peak cap that's actually happening in the network. So here are two different peak caps. So this is the original peak cap, and we see that they are actually using this Internet Explorer 7, this one, and then this again. So this user actually is from the virtual machine that runs inside the FireEye. So they're a little different. And what the virtual machine that gets selected by the FireEye, it depends on the user agent. So if somebody would be using a browser that is not installed in the FireEye, what would happen? Nothing. It wouldn't look on that connection at all. So it can only detect the attacks against those browsers that it has installed. So actually the FireEye is not really in line and doesn't analyze threats in real time to control the claims. And all the files pass through the device, and the device only takes a copy of the file and will then analyze it. So if the file wasn't exploited, malware, the target will get compromised before the FireEye knows it was exploited. So it cannot prevent the attack, but it can give you some visibility of what's happening in your network. Basically, it's more like a synchronous IDS and not a device that is preventing attacks. So we've been looking for several methods of how to bypass the FireEye analysis completely. And the simplest method is really simple. If you run just HTTP 09 server, so your server isn't giving any headers at all, the FireEye have no clue, and everything will pass, will not detect any of the exploits. So this is maybe the simplest way how to evade it. So here we can see that you got the client request, and then the server just responds everything. So you can do that with Netcat. Then of course, it cannot do anything to SSL or TLS. So because it really is not in line, it cannot do SSL inspection at all. So HTTPS is a really good way of hiding malicious web pages. And because if it would be implemented there, maybe it could open RSA, but to really open any connection, just have an inline or a proxy, it is not. Then there is the HTTP port variation. So of course, it doesn't actually dynamically identify HTTP traffic. So just changing the port, something else that it analyzes is enough. So by default, it's using port 80 and 8080. And a good way to bypass the device is to set up your web server in 443 because that is open in most firewalls and so forth. Yes?
Have you verified the HTTP chunk encoding now? They can cover the HTTP chunk encoding on that.
I don't know. We haven't tested the chunk encoding. I don't know if it works. Probably. I don't know. But you don't need that kind of tricks because there are so many more simple methods like using the old 0.9 server or a changed port. Then we try something else. So we try to do some TCP segment-based stuff. So basically, we have a web server that is able to send over traffic using small TCP segments. And then we send it in a wrong order and that kind of stuff. And so by using small TCP segment sizes, we were able to send malware to port 80. So segment-based is a good trick to bypassing the device. It does do some TCP real simply, but it's still quite trivial to bypass. So this is an actual PCAP. So we should be able to see that the TCP segments are really small in this. And we are setting it in out of order. next we would like to do a live demo if the demo cars are with us. We have a connection to Helsinki and also a couple of bases.
We have a pretty good connection to Helsinki. So here's the
Turn your mic on.
how
Is your mic turned on?
better.
Better. Still speak up though.
Okay, so here's the GUI from our test network. So testing traffic from yesterday. The connection is kind of slow. Let's see what happens.
So we are running this connection from Helsinki, so there is quite many VPNs. So let's see it worked before the
Outside that door, it will.
yeah, like half an hour ago.
Okay.
Okay, let's
So here we are running the exploit server, no evasions, just malicious payload. Here's how it will run Windows XP SP2. So we got a shell because it was successful. And now we can get the group. We should in a few minutes see that we found this malicious payload. Let's see what it is.
While we wait, how many people use FireEye in the crowd? Not many.
quite many.
How many are on the verge of starting?
Have potential.
Maybe not.
So it'll take a couple of minutes, and then we will be able to see that it detected the attack. But if it would apply the segmentation, then the attack will not be seen. And then there are other tricks that if FireEye learns that there is a malicious URL, so there are some USD tricks that we can actually bypass the URL filter. It seems that the connection is quite slow. I don't know if this presentation is it's a little difficult to demo the FireEye because everything happens a little lagging. sorry.
Back up.
Okay, so there we go. TCP segmentation. So then other methods controlling the TCP client. So a TCP server can actually control the size of the segments sent by the client. So the server may limit the window size used to access communicate from the client. So you notice that by using a smaller window size than the size of the URL, the FireEye URL filter is bypassed completely. And I think that we also use a MSS option to do the same. And actually, then we noticed that if the manager's URL is just long enough, so it's actually longer than a TCP segment, that is enough to bypass the URL filter. So this is just a recap, and in this recap we should be able to see that the window size is really small, but it is 2. So this actually forces server is forcing the client to send the TCP segments of size 2. Then we have another method, so redirecting into exploit. So the attacker from the web server may actually redirect a static request in the different URL. So the attacker is just sending the spear phishing URL via email, and that URL is static. And then client, by clicking that URL, goes to that static site, which actually then redirects it into another site, and the redirection URL is unique every time. So because FireEye is only looking for the final URL, the cloud-based storage of bad URLs becomes basically useless, because every URL is every time different, and you don't know how to store the original static URL that was only redirected. So, and this is actually an attack strategy that is used by current malware. So here we see the redirect. So the bad web server is just using this location header to redirect. Then there are other limitations. Like FireEye is only able to detect attacks against software. It is virtualizing. So it of course means that they don't virtualize Android or OS X or Linux and doesn't detect any attacks against these operating systems. And by default, the box is running 3 versions of Windows XP and 2 versions of Windows 7. It's capable of running, or our box is capable of running 4 virtual machines at the same time. So we have selected to run two Windows XP and 2 Windows 7. And we haven't found that there would be images available for a Windows 2000 or 2003 or Vista Min 8. And if it's not running these, then it's not analyzing these and protecting. I've also, since our live demo to Helsinki failed, I have lots of PCAPs that we can actually use and look into. So you can see the segregation techniques. Let's open the first one.
Okay, so these are the pickup scripts I've got with the live demo also. Here's some HTTP. HTTP online, just our response.
Would you speak more in the microphone? Oh, can we speak more in the microphone?
Hello.
Yeah.
Thank you. Actually, well, I'll turn it back up a little bit, but before I have to turn it down, but
Oh. Can't get the
So this is the pickup of the just a plain HTTP 09 server. So this works every time, and it's just basically pass traffic through and doesn't do any analysis. So
Yeah, we are using a basic Metasploit like mail. Working.
Keep speaking because I have no idea what volume is if you don't speak.
Hello, 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 hello.
Did I turn it all the way down?
Down. No sound.
I have no idea what I did.
Excellent.
What about now?
Hello, hello, hello.
Just talk loud. That's the only thing I can say right now. I don't know.
Hello.
Is this like how the audio system works in
Okay, so it's
the biggest track?
It's
Something
basically-
that will help me out.
a basic Metasploit payload, nothing special.
That one's off. Too much feedback with the body mic.
Yeah, here's a packet capture of the receive window where
stay close if my just
knows it's like my voice doesn't. So every other packet is a zero window packet because we force a two segment white window for the client. Same packet, same, everything else is same.
Or he turned down his lapel.
It might be turned down or it might be off. Or she's on, you know, turn it up. All right.
So by doing the for TCP stream, we will see that it was not the same attack than previously. So by controlling the receive window, we can bypass the FireEye device, and then. So this is the redirection case. So first we see the initial connection to the static URL so that we get redirected, and this, and well, this will then of course make the browser content to the export URL. So and if the export URL is different every time, then you'll be bypassing FireEye every time. And then this is the pickup of the TCP segmentation. So here we have the web server is actually using small TCP segment size and sending all the segments in out of order basically. So looks quite black in Warsaw as well, but I think that Warsaw can still open this. Yeah. So the same exploit. So there are quite many different network level evasion techniques that can be also used to bypass the analysis of the FireEye device. Fast forward here. So the other limitation, it seems for us that a FireEye is actually unable to detect attacks against any software that is not running. So for example, when we tested with our exploit with the Internet Explorer 6 and 7, so we first hit the Internet Explorer 6 and FireEye was able to detect this, and then we changed the virtual machine version. It was not running Internet Explorer 6 anymore, but it was running Internet Explorer 7. And then our attack against the IA6 was successful, of course, but the FireEye didn't see it anymore, and it didn't even try to see it. And because we are using this heap spray method in the attack, if it tries to run the ES6 attack with ES7, it will still be able to see the heap spray part and properly detect the attack. So we looked more into it, and so it used the user agent in the browser to set what is going to run inside there, and if it doesn't have the same browser, it doesn't do anything. So it seems that the FireEye is actually not doing freely, but instead you need to tune your network so that you are running all the same software FireEye is running. Or I don't know if there's some way of how to change and install new software inside the FireEye, but anyways, if the FireEye virtual machines are different than what your own machines are, then it's not actually detecting the attacks and providing much protection. So we had these conclusions. Here the device is actually not at all a inline device. So all the files is passed through the box, and so the device takes a copy and then injects the copy into the virtual machines it has. And if we apply network level evasions, if it, for example, if it doesn't understand that certain connection is HTTP, then it of course doesn't do anything for that connection. Often it seems that the firewall is not that much able of preventing attacks, but sometimes it might mitigate the impact because there are still some chances that it is actually detecting attacks. But the problem is that if bad guys, if they create exploits and they deliver, if they want to bypass the FireEye, it's really simple. So. And then the URL filter is trivially bypassed, so because they are saying that all the bad URLs are reported to the cloud, and then all the FireEye devices will learn these URLs from the cloud. That's true, but this URL filter can be trivially bypassed, so it's not of much use. So I don't think that it really is preventing any 0 days or APT stuff. But it can give you some visibility, especially if you're running on Windows. So thank you. Okay.
Did you attempt to put the device inline at any point and test it while it was in inline?
It was inline all the time.
Inline?
Yeah, it was inline.
That's why it's resonating.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why we say it was with bad URLs, and then we try to bypass the URL filter. So we had all updates in the system and running like latest version and everything. And we did this test first time, I think last January, and the last time like yesterday to verify. And so it didn't change during that time. Yep.
To do any testing with something like an inline SSL decryption facility, like a Metronome or something of that nature?
Well, we would like to do that, but we don't have the device. I mean, we like to look into security devices and see how we can break them, but we don't have that device. So that would be interesting, though. It's too bad that we couldn't do the live demos with bad connection, so I think that we are finishing a little early. But thank you for everybody. Thanks for attending.